Welcome to another edition of the Columbia College Cougars Coaches Show on Mediacom Channel 22. Also here online at ColumbiaCougars.com. My name is Nick Schudel, Cosmo with the Zimmer Radio Group. This is John Klein, head coach of the Cougar soccer teams, the men and women's squads. Coach, welcome.
Thank you, Cosmo.
First go around for the 2013 season.
Yeah.
Year number 2 of the women's program, off to a great start, just outside that top 25 for the women at 5-2-1, 2-1 in the conference, and the men a very similar record as well. And at number 21, let's start to just kind of a general overview. Let's start with the guys. Some injuries, but overall, where do you think the guys are at right now early in the season?
You know, I think the guys are trying to find their identity. We lost our entire back line, or 75%. I guess Jake Rocco's still back there, but to lose Nicola and Tom Vincent and Dan Rapp back there, I think we're trying to figure that out. Are we a defensive team? Are we offensive-minded? And you know, it's a little bit discouraging that we're 8 or 9 games into the season and we're not quite sure what is our identity. But they play good soccer. We've seen some outstanding performances, and but we've just been a little bit inconsistent. So we'll keep working at it, and I think by the end of the year we'll have it figured out. And we've seen good soccer, like I said. We just got to find a way to do it game in and game out.
And on the women's side, an early, very tough challenge, especially with 3 of your first 4 matches, a couple of those teams in the top 25, and you guys fared very well with them with a tie and a win.
Yeah, really pleased with the girls' early start, and really multiple injuries that we're fighting on the girls' side, and they've played solid soccer, real organized. They're a little bit more defensive, really good shape. And but we create enough in the offensive zone that we find goals as well. So I like what the girls have done. 2 teams are really very similar. We play the same style, and our shape is generally very good. And we're just trying to make sure that we score 3 or 4 goals a game. And if you only score 1, you're in a soccer game. But if we can get the second and third goal, usually we got a good chance of winning the game.
How different, and what have you seen out of, with it being the second year of the program, some of the girls that were on last year's squad that have kind of stepped up and taken that extra leadership role almost and helped bring in that new wave of ladies on the field here for a year too? Well,
our JUCO seniors now, their second year, and we won't have them. It was a great group. You think about Stephanie Hale and Meg Goddard and Elise Castellanos. Those 3 girls, they're just solid performers. Really, they've done it at all conference levels. Stephanie's outstanding. She's just, probably our best all-around soccer player. Scored another great goal at Missouri Baptist yesterday. Elise, just the center of that backfield, and we don't concede a lot because of her. Meg is just such a great leader on and off the field. So I like the leadership. Those girls will be difficult to replace.
When you say on the field for her, she's literally on the field a lot. She reminded me a lot of the way Parker Rodden used to play several years ago on your men's side. A lot of slide tackle, a lot of getting dirty and fighting for the loose ball and winning a lot of those battles.
Well, I think we need a little bit more of that on both sides, girls and guys. You gotta be feisty. You gotta want the ball, and Meg does that. She finds a way in the center of the midfield to keep things organized, help us win balls back, and she's having a great year so far.
And you mentioned Elise Castellanos just honored as Defensive Player of the Week in the conference, so it's another big honor. It's a couple of those early season honors for your ladies in the AMC.
Yeah, the girls, I like the balance. I like what the girls are doing, especially in their second year, and really that close, knocking on that top 25 and able to compete with teams in that top 25. So, we'll see. They're having a good year. They just need to keep it up.
And as far as the rankings are concerned, obviously the major factor, and the rankings do help later as far as some seedings, but really your main goal is that conference wins and the tournament in the conference.
Yeah, the conference is always the first, the starting point. If we can win at the conference level, then I think, we can be recognized nationally. If we're 3rd or 4th in the conference, then it's not as easy to get the national recognition. And you do hope to be in a position to receive a national at-large berth, but this early in second year on the women's side, our trip to the national tournament is going to be to win the conference tournament. And so we want to perform well in conference. We want to be seated well when conference tournament comes around. And I think this year we will compete with with every team in our conference.
And you had basically what was, for this point in the season in the standings, a first place battle with Mobap in San. No, not a good one. Unfortunately, on the column, it was a game that you guys probably outplayed and outshot them, and they just came away with a defeat.
Really disappointing that we let it get away. And in 2 years, I've kind of said we won all the games we were supposed to, and we lost the games we were expected to, and then we made some changes. We beat Baker when we were unexpected to. We've taken some steps. We tied Kansas Wesleyan, the nationally ranked opponent. We took Missouri Valley to double overtime, and we're extremely disappointed to lose that one. But we really let the one get away yesterday, and scored first and had most of the play. And they were certainly better than they were last year. We're better than we were last year, and truly we're shocked when in the second half we conceded 2 goals and just let that one get away. So they'll bounce back. They play good soccer, and we're looking forward to getting Mallory Page back in the lineup, looking forward to getting Kelly Ross healthy. And I think when we've got a full group of 20 on this roster, we can compete with just about any team out there.
It's amazing the difference. Obviously, you lose any major important portion of that roster, then the shift happens and you're moving girls into different positions and trying to refine that chemistry, because early on, when you had everybody going, it was a strong group. On the men's side, in the Missouri Baptist game, Rafael Ramos, in his second year with you guys, a big 4 goals. The only goals in the game were all for the Cougars at least. 4-1 was the final. He scored all 4. I don't know if there's ever been a time that I remember, at least, where the only goals were 4 scored. But quite a performance for him, kind of a coming out party for sure for this year on the offense for him.
It is. He's been injured. He's been nursing a couple different injuries. And that was just a special individual performance, and it was needed. I mean, it was important for us after a slight setback with the tie to Harris Stowe last week. We needed a good performance, and like I said, we've seen those performances throughout the year, preseason and early part of the season, but they come and go. And Marco's been doing most of the damage in the offensive end for us. It's really good to see Rafa back in the mix, and hopefully he can continue his strong performance.
Keep it moving forward. The Columbia Cougars, busy couple weeks coming up. The month of September, very light for home games to come out and watch the guys and girls play, but October is completely different, jam-packed full of a lot of soccer as you head down the stretch. The full schedule for both teams on the website, ColumbiaCougars.com. We'll come back, talk a little bit about what is ahead for the Cougars, and also a Hall of Fame nomination for the Columbia College Athletics Hall of Fame from a soccer player from the past. We'll talk about that and more coming up with head coach John Klein on Mediacom Channel 22.